So you want to buy a car, you've just got your P plates. Here's our list of the top 10 cars you can buy for $15,000 or less that are P plate legal.
Let's get into it. Alright guys, number one on the list, a Ford Fiesta. We've personally been in one. It's got 134 kilowatts and it's front wheel drive. Would you say it's easy to mod, Dante?
It's a bloody easy car to mod. It's a phenomenal car, I think is the best way to put it.
It's got very good like a car community scene. There's so many mods for it. We've been in one that has a dose, you know. Look at that car. It's just so small and compact. You could just hook in that thing.
And it is very comfy. Recaro seats, bloody, the thing is awesome. You get dosing, so you got a turbo. You got a bit of speed, and it looks a little bit like a Ford Focus. So
yeah, and you could also, there's so many body kits for it and like things out there. You could make this look like an RS and you could be one of those wankers, but like, look, it's a $14,000 car that you can get on your P's that has a turbo, front wheel drive, it's light as, you can whip around in it and you can
cheap to tune. Perfect starter car. Next on the list is the Nissan Pulsar SS. Now, this was something that I was personally looking at buying when I was getting my P plates. So rather than the Commodore, I was going to buy this, but thank goodness I didn't. Commodore Ute was perfect.
But this still would have been good. I reckon this would have been pretty good because it's such a little. It's like the Fiesta. It's small, compact. It's got what? How many kilowatts? It's
140 kilowatts, and I'd say this is probably more of a sleeper. Like, no one knows this car exists.
I didn't know this car. Like, Dante was the one that was like, oh, we should put this car on the list. And I was like, what car is this? And we did a bit of research. And I'm like, oh, yes, easily put this car on. It's 11 grand.
Guys, tell us down in the comments, did you know this car existed? It's got a big community behind it, big Pulsar community.
It's turboed, it's Pulsar, it's got a big community.
Sounds good. Sounds pretty bloody good.
Honestly sounds similar to the WX, and the WX is still better, obviously, but like this is pretty similar. It sounds like almost like a Boxer for some reason.
Yeah, it's not a bad car. Right, guys, we've got a question for you. Actually, this is aimed at the females that are watching. There's not many.
Not many at all.
If your parents bought you a car, was it this one, the Hyundai Veloster Turbo? If it wasn't this one, was it a Mazda 3?
Or if it wasn't a Mazda 3, it was 100% a Suzuki Swift.
Anyway, we're looking at the Veloster Turbo. Now, boys, this is a phenomenal car. And girls. All right, and girls. This is a phenomenal.
The girls own them.
Phenomenal car. Look at it. Like, it looks the goods. It's a coupe. I would drive one of these. Once again, I was looking at one of these cars. They aren't cheap. They are at the upper, near 15K, but they look the goods.
But when you think about it, it's got 150 kilowatts.
It is.
It's got 150. Look at that. It's so small, so compact, and it's got 150 kilowatts. That doesn't make any sense. Like, you're looking at that car and you go, another 40 kilowatts, and it's on the par with a V6.
Yeah.
Holden Commodore.
Now, something to note, guys, it's actually a 3-door coupe, as you'd call it. On the passenger side, there is a third door, which you'll see sort of there. You can see there's a view of the back seats, so that is the third door open. On the driver's side, though, there's no third door. Last week, we were at 85% of you not subscribed. We're now at 84%.
That's not bad. I like that. You're impressing me.
Impress us more.
Do better.
We'll give you some fingertips.
Hasn't been. Oh, fingies. Do you want a car that's very small, compact, and got 150 kilowatts? No, it's not that good car that you think of that's well branded and well known. It's a Kia.
Kia? Why would you be suggesting a Kia? Well,
why
guys,
is that in the list?
This is a car that, when you line up with it at the lights, you go, is that your grandmother's car?
Yes. You expect your nan to be in there. You expect your auntie to wave, give you a little subtle, give you one of these little.
I mean,
darling.
Look at the car. It's the biggest sleeper I think I've ever seen. The good thing about this, just wait until we get to it. As you can see on the steering wheel, it's got paddle shifters. All right. So I mean, paddle shifters on a 4-cylinder turbo.
With 150 kilowatts. Now the paddle shifters may not be the best, or the automatic gearbox
they won't be very fast.
It may not be the most reactive, but you're on your P's. This is your first car.
And look, in saying that, our mate Nigel, who's got a Mustang, his paddle shifters, they'd probably be about as reactive
and laggy
as these ones. So you're basically getting a Mustang.
All right, a bit of a different one for this one on the list because it's not very fast. It is pretty fast. It's a six cylinder.
6-cylinder, 3.5 liter. Not something you would have thought of, but hear us out. It is a Honda Accord. Why are we suggesting this? Well, this holds a very special place in our heart for a few reasons. Firstly, Najor had it as his first car. Secondly, this car is phenomenal. It's got VTEC.
And I think the main thing that you should think about is it is $8,000 and switch to the interior, Dante, on the photos. In an $8,000 car, you get automatic seats.
Now also, you will notice this does have a cloth interior. They did come with a leather interior, a premium interior.
Which also came with heated seats.
Oh yeah, that car is phenomenal. If you can find one of those, I think it's like the luxury.
Yeah.
Honda Accord luxury.
And it's not even that much more expensive. And you get leather seats, heated seats, you get, I think, better subwoofers and speakers.
Reverse camera on a 2009 car.
Look at that engine
The
bay.
engine bay is clean. That has been driven by a grandmother. You just know it. You look at that and you go, I'll buy it. I'll take it. Can I have $5,000?
Because we have to put in the list. Not everything's about speed, not everything's about, driving. There's gonna be people out there that like cars but don't care about speed. Because that's a very common thing.
And he does say that. It is a fast car.
It is, yeah.
It is a fast car.
It's heavy though.
Does have paddle shifters.
It does.
It's got paddle shifters as well. Alright guys, you knew this one was coming. It's the Mazda MX5. Now it's not the pop-up headlight version. I couldn't tell you the code for that one. It's not that one. They have gone up in price since we did our last video. This is the NB series. It might be the NA series actually that had the pop-up headlights.
Yes.
Anyway, look at the car. It doesn't have pop-up headlights, but it still looks phenomenal. Like, imagine a wing out the back there. This is a convertible. I can tell you from experience, you put an exhaust on it, you drop the top, and it sounds ridiculous, and you have the most fun in your life.
So you drop the suspension, you slam it on its guts, you put some decent looking rims on it, and it's just a good looking car. It's the Mitsubishi Lancer. If you're in school, you're on your P's, and you want an Evo, and you don't have 60k to spend, buy a Lancer.
Mate.
That's what everyone does. Put a body kit on it that's worth about $1,000 or $2,000 if you can spare that. And you've got an Evo, just don't try and race anyone at the lights because
you will get chopped. While it is the lowest powered car on this list, it is a good looking one. Like, I don't mind the Lancers. They're not bad, the amenities are good, it's Mitsubishi.
for a car that's 4 doors, a massive boot space, like it's a proper good sedan.
And look at the interior.
And it's cheap.
Like, look at the interior. It's actually half clean. I don't mind that. That is very clean, actually.
It is a very good sedan car, massive space, massive boot space, a reliable engine. This will last you ages. It is 9K.
So you want to get into drifting?
On a drifting track. No illegal stuff. No.
What car do you buy? You're thinking to yourself, I want to get into drifting. What car do I buy? I can't afford, an S15 or something else like that I can drift.
Yeah.
Right? You get a Nissan 350Z. 206 kilowatts, so it's quite powerful. Nearly as powerful as the Commodore and the Falcon, right?
Which are almost the max you can get on your P. So this is up there for one of the fastest cars you can get.
And now, in my opinion, this is a very good looking car.
I think it's a beautiful looking car.
I'd drive a 350Z. I remember back in 2015, I went to New Zealand. The only car I took a photo of over there was a 350Z.
Look at that, 14K for something that's fast as, fun to drive because it is a coupe.
Yep.
It's so much lighter than the Commodore and the Falcon. And you can drift it.
Say less.
Say less, exactly. Say less, buy it. So on this list, we've got 2 more at the end. And I think no one even knows about them.
You guys won't know them.
I reckon,
try and drop a guess in the comments below. Don't go forwards. Try and guess. What are these next 2 cars?
I think they're almost some of the biggest sleepers I've ever seen in my life. No one knows what they are. You barely even know what brand it is. Like when I say Holden to you, do you go, what is that?
Holden?
They don't even exist anymore.
All seriousness, guys, the Holden Commodore SV6. All right, you all know it. You all love it. That's why you came to the channel in the beginning.
Every P plater drives it. Every dude either drives a Ute or a Holden Commodore.
That's it.
And that's it.
And they're awesome. Like, there's a whole reason why everyone buys them. They are such a good car. And you'll see here, this is a very clean example.
That is
this is a phenomenal example of an SV6. Now, there is also the Ute. We haven't got the Ute there. The Utes are generally quite a bit more expensive. There were a few under $15,000, but you will notice they are very high kilometer examples. But this is a very, very clean. Like, look at that. It's even got an X-Force exhaust.
We've just hyped up the Commodore, but the only car that gets close, you know, or would you say on par?
I reckon on par.
On par.
I think
I reckon they're very equal. If you want to see our video comparing these two cars, watch it in one of those top corners.
Probably that one.
Because it's the XR6. Come on. You say Holden Commodore, the next one's got to be XR6. You say XR6, the next one's got to be Holden Commodore.
Like, everyone knows about the XR6. Everyone knows about the SV6, but we're showing you the XR6.
I think it's almost blasphemy if we don't put them on the list.
I agree.
They have to be on the list because it's the exact same as the Commodore. One of the fastest cars you can get, one of the funnest cars you can get. It is a big car, big sedan, you can fit all your mates in, you can fit a bunch in the back, and there's so many mods, such a big community. Like,
we should also say, just one word, just Barra. Like, you're getting a Barra.
You're getting a Barra. After you finish your Ps, if you have enough money to splurge, you could make that engine easily do 1,000 horsepower. Like, you could make this car just zoot. Like,
if you went on to buy a car from this video,
or you already have one of these and you're on your Ps right now, drop a like, comment, subscribe, maybe even DM us a photo of it on Insta.
and we'll see you next week.